In this video and also on this web page, Water Ionizer Use and Care, you're going to learn essential basics about using a water ionizer and also caring for it. As with any piece of scientific equipment, it is important to learn how to use it and care for it properly, so it will continue to do the job you want it to do for many years to come, and also so it will last longer too. Now, on many of my product pages and category pages, I show example videos of how to set up this or that water ionizer and use it and change the filters and this type of thing. And so whichever water ionizer you purchase, I suggest you watch those videos so that you can see a little extra information about the best way to set up the machine and use it. Now, whether you're setting up your water ionizer for the first time or moving it, traveling with it, or whatever, anytime you set it up or disconnect it, you need to be concerned about the pressure inside the machine. It is pressurized to a certain degree, and to relieve the pressure, what you do is turn the flow valve. Now, here's a machine on its side here. This top piece here is a flow valve, and also on this machine, the piece right here on the front is a flow valve. Now, if the machine has a flow valve, open it up, and that will depressurize it and allow you to remove your quick connect fittings or your filters, or connect them or put them in, or whatever you're going to do. It will be easier if the machine is depressurized first. Now, sometimes a machine won't have a flow valve, and then that gets a little tricky. You would, in that case, plug the machine in, turn it on, and with no water running to it, just turn it into the on position as if you want it to start flowing water into the machine. So that will instantly just click through. It will open up all the valves and depressurize it. I mean, the point is there's no water going in, so you just let air go in a little bit. Okay, it's important when you get a water ionizer to pay attention to these things called quick connect fittings. All the water ionizers use them, and they have this fitting. Inside the fitting itself are alligator teeth that grab on and hold the little 1/4-inch hose and hold it in place. Now, a couple of things about this. Don't ever pull the water line or yank it or anything to try to just force it out too hard. The way to handle a quick connect fitting, it's hard to see what my thumb is doing there, but I'm pulling in on the ring, a little release ring, while pulling out on this plug that is on the machine when you get it. Now, this video is on this water ionizer use and care page, and I encourage you to watch it. It's a very, very short video, just to kind of show you an example of how to do that. Okay, now, even if you're not pulling anything or trying to get anything out of a quick connect fitting, and all you're doing is trying to insert the 1/4-inch hose into the quick connect fitting, you still need to depressurize the machine. It's just going to make it a lot easier to do that. And then also, another thing that you want to do when you're inserting this 1/4-inch hose into the quick connect is brace the back of the fitting that you're you're trying to push the hose into, and then push as hard as you can, and then pull some, and then push again until you really feel that it is thoroughly seated. Seated meaning it's in there as far as it can go. And usually the only reason why a machine would leak would be that one thing, that the tubing wasn't seated well enough. And there are other causes for leaks, such as maybe your fitting or flow valve or something, some valve in the machine, it has gotten too pressurized and then, broken or whatever. So you want to try to avoid over putting too much of a water flow into a machine and causing the valves to kind of bust open inside. And sometimes it's not really a very bad break. It does leak, and then you have to send it into repair though. And then you're spending money for shipping and all the hassle, and you're having to be without your machine while it's getting repaired. So you want to try to not put too much pressure on the lines. And one way to keep yourself from overdoing it and putting too much pressure of water into the machine is to use an external flow control shutoff. And here is one right here. I think I put a new picture in here. Hold on, let me refresh this page. There we go. All right, so now on this shutoff, it comes in the on position, but you can turn the knob at the top to the off position, which you can just duplicate what that looks like. So this is off, this is on, and then you can put it somewhere in between. So let's say you have, you're supplying your water with a diverter at your faucet, and you're concerned because you have a lot of family members and they always go up to the thing and they turn the water on full blast and it goes plowing full blast right into the machine, and you're concerned because you might be going to blow some kind of a valve and spring a leak. So if you put one of these external flow valves on the line and set it to in some sort of in-between position where no matter how much force the incoming water from your faucet is turned on, it's turned on full flow, but it won't go into the machine full flow. It's reduced to the exact flow that you want it. So you can kind of experiment with it and see where you want to put that in-between position. So that's another use for the flow valve. And there are other uses. You can read about it on this water ionizer use and care page. Okay, now once you start using your water ionizer, let's say it's the first day of using, let's say it's the first time you ever poured water into this machine. It's a brand new filter. You've never poured water into it. Well, with a brand new filter, you do not want to start ionizing until that filter has been flushed out. And also you want the ionizer, anytime you start an ionizer from brand new or if it's been stored for a while, you want to use it sparingly and only in the filtered water setting. So if this is a new filter, you want to have it filtered water until the water runs clear. If it is an already used filter, and let's say you stored it, you went on vacation, and now you're not sure if maybe the water cell might have dried out while you were gone. So now here you are back. You're going to pour water, only filtered water, and just about a cup at a time. And then just leave it alone for a while. And later on in the day, just use it on filtered water mode, and maybe a little later on in the day, use low levels of ionized water. And then as the day progresses, maybe move it up to a higher ionization. But just do it slowly and gradually like that, so that the water cell inside the water ionizer has gaskets and things that if it's dry, it can cause water to kind of pave a path out of the water cell, which would be equal to it's leaking. And once you pave that path of water through a dry gasket, because it shrivels up some, it's sometimes just, you know, just you just made the machine have to leak now for a long time or maybe forever. So you don't want that. Water can channel its way out of things, and you don't want to encourage it to do that. So to avoid that, you want to moisten up that water cell very gradually and do it this way. And then on the second day, it'll be moist enough, and you should just be able to use it regularly. However, if you are an intermittent user, you only use it 2 days a week and then you're gone 5 days a week, you might want to really watch out for that. There's ways that you can just leave it connected to your faucet and then put some kind of a cap over your the spout where the water comes out, the alkaline water comes out, to keep it from evaporating while you're gone. So those are things you can do, or just moisten it up as if you just are starting the new water ionizer. Okay, now your new water ionizer can produce alkaline water, filtered water, or acidic water. And your machine comes with pH test drops that you can use to test your alkaline. You can see this purple color here, that's the alkaline. And here's the, orange color here would be the acidic. And the in-between colors. So just use a small amount of water to test. Like I usually will use like a tablespoon worth and put a couple of drops of the pH drops in, and just enough drops to get a color so that I can match it to the chart. And let's say you want to know, is my water ionizer working well? Well, test the highest alkaline level at 1.5 liters per minute, approximately. Let it run for 30 seconds so that it's established at that level. And then take a small sample of the alkaline and take a small sample of the acidic, and then use the pH drops and see what it does. If both colors look like the neutral drinking levels, like, that's not good, something's wrong. At that point, you would probably want to contact us and get some assistance. Maybe you didn't set it up right, or something has got to be wrong. And occasionally somebody will have, like, they'll hook their water ionizer up to a reverse osmosis machine, let's say, as an example. And all the minerals are gone now. And if you don't have enough minerals, this is about the range you're going to get. You're just going to get the neutral levels. And so you're not going to be satisfied with that. What you would do then in that case would be to put a remineralizer into your reverse osmosis set of filters, after the last filter that the line goes through and before the tank. And that's where it's going to be drip, 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 nice and slow. And that's what you want it to do with that remineralizer filter, is just drip through there so it's going slow enough to pick up some minerals. And I tell you more about that on different pages, but I just thought I'd throw that in there since we were kind of touched on that subject. Okay, now there are ways that you can get the pH that you want from your machine. And let's say a purple color is too high and you wanted a little bit less alkaline, like a blue color or something like that. One way would be to flow the flow rate a little faster, and that will reduce the alkaline level or the ionization level. And another thing is, on these machines, I'm just going to scroll up to the top for a second. On these machines, it will have buttons on the front, and you can push level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5, and each level is going to be a stronger ionization. So if it's coming out too strong, then just choose a lower button, and that should do the trick. If it's not coming out strong enough, then either slow down the water flow, but you can't slow it down too much. It has to, the machine needs a certain water flow, about 1.5 liters per minute is perfect for the machine. And too slow the water going through the machine acts as a cooling system for the water cell. And sometimes the machine will actually just shut off. It'll still pour, water will still come through, but it's not ionizing if it shuts off. And so you don't want that. And so make sure that you're paying attention, especially when you're just getting used to the machine and how it works. Just pay attention to the right flow rate, what level you want, test it with the pH drops. And once you're in a groove and a habit and routine, it's going to be a lot, just like clockwork for you. And here's another way that you can influence the pH results is, on some of the machines, they will have a way to manually adjust the power. And usually it's explained in the manual that comes with the machine. So I just happen to take a picture of a page in this particular manual to show you manually adjusting the power. Look for something like that. And it's usually fairly simple instructions how to do it. That's if you want it. Let's say you have 5 levels, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And let's say on level 3 is your drinking level. You want it a little stronger, but not as strong as level 4 or something like that. And you would then go in and manually adjust the power to try to tweak it and get it to be perfect for yourself. Okay, now there are other sections of this page. This particular section is talking about instant benefits of drinking and using alkaline ionized water. And it goes over a couple of points on the benefits to encourage you to use due diligence in following the directions and drinking the right amount of water, the right level. Don't start too fast. Like if you just started drinking ionized water, don't start drinking at 11 pH or something. That would be, your body would just not like that. You need to groove in, and you have different organs in your body which will protest if you start out too high. And also, there is a certain amount of detoxing that your body is going to go through when you provide alkaline water to it, and that's great. But you take if you don't detox slowly enough, you could reinfect yourself or somehow. You want to do it slowly. Your body can slough off toxins, but if you overwhelm your body, then you're going to feel some symptoms, and it would be counterproductive. And so there's also some tips of just extra things that you can do to get the most out of your water ionizer. Like people will use the alkaline or acidic water. In both cases, they're good for cleaning. They just have different functions. Like high alkaline is an emulsifier for oils or grease or grime. So it's great for cleaning grease and grime, or, that kind of thing. The low acidic is good for killing germs. So really both of those types of water are good for cleaning purposes, and it's good to know which is which and how, some ideas or examples of how you could use that in your own home. And there are reasons sometimes that you would just use the water ionizer, not to ionize, but just to filter the water. Usually the water ionizer has anywhere between good to great to fantastic water filtration. So you're not going to go wrong by using that filtered water when it's, called for. Like, for instance, infants and toddlers are too young. Their bodies are already alkaline enough when they're young, usually, and there's normally not a reason why you would give them alkaline water until maybe they're 2 or 3 or something like that. And even then, maybe just level 1 or something like that. Also, another reason why you would just use filtered water sometimes might be certain medications that the doctor doesn't want you to have it absorb into your body too quickly. A lot of times prescriptions are filled with it in mind a certain amount of time for this medication to get into your system and go through your system and all that stuff. And with ionized water, it really makes the water absorb into your body, so you hydrate more quickly, but that could kind of mess with the doctor's idea of how fast that medication is getting into your system. So a lot of times for that reason, people will use just a regular rule of thumb of using filtered water to drink their medications. I mean, before and after that, just go back to alkaline, ionized water. You don't have to wait too long, maybe 10, 20 minutes later, you're fine drinking ionized water. Okay, another use for acidic water is to use it as beauty water. So, it's not just a germ killer, but it's beauty water, and both your skin and your hair have reasons to like the acidic water. With the skin, the pores, part of your whole immune system is your skin, believe it or not. I mean, it's one of your biggest organs and most beneficial to your immune system. It keeps germs out and whatnot. You have nice tight pores, and that's the way it should be. But things can get in and cause havoc if the pores are open too much. And a lot of times with our soaps, shampoos, and things like that, it's alkaline to cut through the grease, and that's not good for your skin condition. So the acidic water is a nice rinse, and a lot of people love it for beauty water, like a toner or that kind of thing. And it's also good as a hair rinse because almost always your shampoo is going to be alkaline, and your hair, the There's a funny thing about your hair. It has cuticles, and those are like they kind of are like jagged hair shafts, let's say. You can get a condition where the cuticles open up and your hair shaft, instead of being nice and smooth and slick and everything, it looks jagged, you know, if you look at it under a microscope. And the acidic water helps to close up those hair cuticles, and it will actually improve the shiny look of your hair, and also make it feel better, like more conditioned. You can run your comb or whatever through it more easily. Okay, well, and also if all those hair cuticles are tight, your hair won't dry out so easily. So there's just a lot of reasons that acidic water is referred to as beauty water. Another thing with acidic water, just slightly acidic, not like 2 or 3 pH, but maybe a 5 pH or something like that, you could put in a spray bottle if you're going to an amusement park or somewhere where it's going to be hot outside and you want a little portable air conditioner. But there are more things down here in the bottom section that you might want to just skim and read what seems to resonate with you. There's a whole section on questions and answers and things like that that maybe you might want to look at and read things that are interesting to you. Also, I have a link to this page below this video. Thank you.